Good, happy Tuesday morning, January 28th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's begin. First up, today marks 34 years since Space Shuttle Challenger tragedy. New Hampshire teacher Kristen McCullough among 7 killed in explosion. Let's take a look at this video.
You don't have to scream. Maybe just text. Oh, jackpot alert. Thank you. I'll get us both a ticket. Just don't eat it this time.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Today is the anniversary of the Space Shuttle Challenger tragedy. The shuttle exploded 73 seconds after takeoff on January 28, 1986. New Hampshire teacher Kristen McCullough was among the crew members killed on the Challenger. She was the first civilian teacher ever chosen for a space mission. Crew members Dick, Mike, Ronald, Ellison, Judith, and George also died. McCullough lost lessons were finally taught in space in 2018. Astronauts Joe and Ricky performed some of the experiments from the International Space Station. In 2019, President Donald Trump signed into law a bill that will create a commemorative 1-cent coin to honor McCullough. Shooting in Hooksett leaves 1 injured, 1 person in custody. Shooting happened in the area of Vendale and Matthew Road. Let's take a listen to that video from WR News 9.
You don't have to scream. Maybe just text. Oh, jackpot alert. Thank you. I'll get us both a ticket. Just don't eat it this time.
Breaking news right now, 1 person is in custody and another in the hospital after a shooting in Hooksett. It happened about 5:45 tonight in the area of Vendale Road near Matthew Road. Police say a neighbor dispute led to that shooting. The person hit is expected to recover. No charges have been announced against the suspect.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. 2 people in New Hampshire isolated, one undergoing testing for coronavirus in Littleton. Health officials say to develop symptoms after recent travel to Wuhan City. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
You don't have to scream. Maybe just text. Oh, jackpot alert. Thank you. I'll get us both a ticket. Just don't eat it this time.
Monica, several new details coming out just within the last hour or so. The hospital in Littleton says its patient is a teenager and that he traveled to China in December, returning home 3 weeks ago. State health leaders told us earlier today that symptoms didn't show until after coming back. Right now, 2 people in New Hampshire are being tested for the coronavirus, which in China has now killed more than 100 and infected 4,500.
We have a patient under suspicion of that virus here.
Littleton Regional Healthcare made that announcement tonight at its annual meeting. It says the patient is a student at White Mountain School in Bethlehem and returned to the U.S. from China on January 6th.
On Thursday, we admitted a 19-year-old patient from an outside health facility with mild respiratory illness.
The hospital says he's isolated in a negative pressure room, is symptom-free, and is bored.
The patient's doing wonderfully. He's wondering when the heck he can get out of here. But again, we'll get the testing results.
That man and another person are waiting for the CDC's test results to determine if they have coronavirus. State health leaders say they were in Wuhan City, China. The CDC has discovered 5 cases in the U.S. and is testing more than 100 Americans.
People can consider, postponing non-essential travel to other areas of China as well until we really further understand the risks of this new virus.
The hospital in Littleton says test results might be available by tomorrow.
There is absolutely no threat to the community whatsoever from this patient. There is absolutely no threat whatsoever to our staff or visitors, and certainly our staff from this patient.
Coronavirus can be spread person to person, but right now there are no vaccines for it. We'll have those test results on the 2 patients in New Hampshire just as soon as they become available. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Plan for improving Manchester schools presented to school board. Manchester Proud Group established to create blueprint. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
You don't have to scream. Maybe just text. Oh, jackpot alert. Thank you. I'll get us both a ticket. Just don't eat it this time.
Well, the city of Manchester will soon go public with a new 10-year plan for schools. Tonight, a draft was presented to school board members from the group Manchester Proud, which is made up of school and community members. Well, the group researched the district and came up with a blueprint for the future involving classes, staffing, and budget.
We care about the city and its people dearly, and we are committed to lifting our schools to new levels of excellence.
School board members will review the draft first. It will be posted online tomorrow, and then a public hearing on the plan will be held February 20th at Memorial High School.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Bishop shot during wedding says he's doing well. Stanley Cho posted video message to Congregation on Facebook. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
don't have to scream. Maybe just text. Oh, jackpot alert. Thank you. I'll get us both a ticket. Just don't eat it this time.
It's good to talk to you.
In a video posted to the New England Pentecostal Ministries Facebook page, Bishop Stanley Choate addresses his congregation. It's the first time he's spoken out publicly since shots rang out inside his Pelham church in October. Choate was officiating a wedding. He and the bride suffered gunshot wounds. Choate was shot in the chest and spent about 2 months in a Boston hospital.
I just want to let you know that I am doing well. So you don't worry, just pray. But I am doing well. They treated me good here at this place.
For the past few weeks, the bishop has been working with a physical therapist. According to his wife, Choate has regained total upper body strength and has recently been focusing more on walking again. They say the outpouring of support from people all over the world is still overwhelming.
I appreciate that so much. Thank God for you. May God bless you.
Last week, Dale Holloway, the man charged in connection to the shooting, was indicted on multiple charges, including attempted murder. As the bishop continues his recovery, his wife tells us it's just a matter of time before he's back in the church.
I am well, and I'm looking forward to coming home.
The bishop's wife says the congregation can expect to see more video updates just like this one as his recovery continues. Monica?
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Serious crash leaves several hurt on Everett Turnpike in Merrimack. Investigators said likely chain reaction crash. Let's take a listen to that video from WR News 9.
You don't have to scream. Maybe just text. Oh, jackpot alert. Thank you. I'll get us both a ticket. Just don't eat it this time.
Right now, several people are hurt after this serious crash on the Everett during the evening rush. It happened in Merrimack on the northbound side just past exit 10. The state police say 4 vehicles were involved. Right now, the extent of the injuries are not clear, but we do know at least 2 people were hurt. One was airlifted and the other transported to a local hospital. Investigators say it was likely a chain reaction crash.
The commute started to slow down like it always does in this area. And then some people looked like somebody wasn't paying attention, hit another vehicle and just collided from there.
And traffic was backed up while authorities cleared the scene. They are still investigating the cause.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. U.S. stocks set to open higher after Dow posts worst day since October. U.S. stock index futures were higher Tuesday morning after Dow posted its worst trading day in about 3 months. John Bolton book manuscript ends impeachment hearing. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The other news tonight into that bombshell report involving former National Security Advisor John Bolton and President Trump. Will it upend the impeachment trial? Will it lead to witnesses? The New York Times first reporting on a draft of a new book by Bolton, and in it, Bolton claims the president told him withholding aid to Ukraine was tied to investigations into Joe Biden. Tonight, the president responding and what senators are now saying about possible witnesses at the trial. Mary Bruce on the Hill again tonight.
Sir, how are you doing today? The president's former National Security Advisor John Bolton smiling and waving to cameras this morning after upending the impeachment proceedings.
Do you have any evidence of your claims, sir?
According to the New York Times, Bolton writes in his upcoming book that President Trump personally told him he wanted to continue freezing nearly $400 million in security aid until Ukraine helped to investigate his rivals, including Joe Biden. It directly contradicts what the president's defense team has been arguing.
There was no connection between security assistance and investigations.
The president's lawyers today never once mentioning Bolton. But the president tweeting, "I never told John Bolton that the aid to Ukraine was tied to investigations into Democrats, including the Bidens." If John Bolton said this, it was only to sell a book.
Does this increase the chances he could be called to testify?
Well, I haven't seen a manuscript, but I can tell you nothing was ever sent to John Bolton, but I have not seen a manuscript.
Bolton's reported first-hand account is sending a seismic shock through Capitol Hill, where senators will have to decide whether to allow him as a witness.
It's pretty fair to say that John Bolton has a relevant testimony to provide to those of us who are sitting in impartial justice.
And Senator Mitt Romney says it's increasingly likely that other Republicans will join him.
The reporting on John Bolton strengthens the case for witnesses.
But the president's lawyers argue senators should focus on the evidence from the House investigation and nothing more.
We deal with transcript evidence. We deal with publicly available information. We do not deal with speculation.
And Mary, you're learning tonight they're now preparing for the possibility of a trial with witnesses, the president's team.
David, sources tell us that tonight the president's team is preparing for the very real possibility that Bolton may be called to testify and that they are ready to fight it in court. David.
All right, Mary Bruce tonight. Mary, thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll see you back here in a little bit for a news report. Goodbye, everyone.